Hey Taurus, Dark Dove Tarot here. Hope you're doing fantastic. This is your July mid-month 2020 read. So again, this is for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for July 2020. Hope you guys are doing amazing. This is a love read, so keep that in mind. Or if that's not something you're interested in, then this read is not for you. All right, so this is for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Please make sure you check your other signs, as some months those may resonate with you more than others, or you may just get a little more clarity or add to your story as well. So again, hope everybody is doing fantastic. Any likes, subscribes, comments are greatly appreciated. If you'd hit the bell icon, that would be amazing as well. So see what is going on for Taurus for love for the rest of July 2020. If you'd like a private read, the information is in the description below. Keep in mind that there's a 1 to 2 week wait on the regular reads, and then there is a 2 to 3 day wait on the emergency reads, but I am getting booked quite a bit and booked quite heavily, so just be patient with me on the reads because sometimes they take a little longer than normal. Not always, but sometimes they take a little bit longer. All right, so I'm always anal about straightening the cards up. They're just going to get messed up anyways. All right, Taurus, one last card, and let's see what is going on for you. We'll pull your oracle, and we will get started. So, what is going on for Taurus for love for the end of July? I'll be posting August soon, so it'll be like back-to-back reads because August will be coming out this weekend. All right, Taurus, what is your oracle card? Let's see what's going on for you guys for the rest of July for 2020. What's going on for Taurus for the rest of July 2020? Okay, you have Manatili, powerful devotion, true worth. So powerful devotion, true worth. So first thing that pops out here obviously is true worth, because this is telling me that some of you are maybe after a breakup doing what a lot of people do, which is first you get sad, first you get mad, and then you say, no, you know what? Screw it. Like, I know what I deserve. I know what I'm worth. I know what I, what my self-respect and self-love, what my desires are, and what I deserve in a relationship. So how do I feel the most powerful right now? And who supports me and is worthy of my friendship, my love, my time, my attention, all of the above. And then what extent do I need to devote to myself right now to make sure that I'm giving myself the love and respect that I've deserved and needed and wanted for a long, long time, that maybe due to certain circumstances hasn't happened. So very empowering card for you guys, Taurus. The next card you have is the Knight of Swords. All right, the Knight of Swords is can be very hostile, very confrontational. Now, idealism runs along the fact of the Knight of Swords in that in an idealistic world, right? Everything is perfect in roses and rainbows. We all know that's not true. But the Knight of Swords is, I have some things to say, which is very interesting because that goes off of Manatili in the fact that this makes me feel there's a very powerful vibe for you guys right now, Taurus. There's a very powerful, self-respect, self-love, self-devotion energy, and there's somebody trying to break that barrier. I can feel that either somebody's trying to communicate with you, or somebody is trying to convince you, oh, Taurus, it wasn't that bad, or I didn't mean that, or I didn't want it to go that way, something along those lines. But it's bullshit, because whatever it is, you know it and I know it. That's why the Knight of Swords is coming out with that confrontational type energy. This is some sort of hostility. Now, I'm not saying you're sitting here fuming or pissed or mad, but I am saying that there is potential that somebody's trying to convince you it's that crazy. I can't stand that crazy. It's that narcissistic that, oh, you're crazy. Oh, it wasn't that big of a deal. Oh, it was one text. Oh, it was just one phone call. Well, we only hung out one. Well, and nothing between. It's just for, I'm going to go into this thing really quick. I don't know why I need to, but maybe somebody needs to hear it. And it's kind of dumb, but it is what it is. And it was actually not them at the time on the radio, because it made me realize how conflicted some of us are in the fact of what we put up with, or what we perceive as normal, or what we allow people to make us believe. Now, people can't make us believe. We have to be smart enough to make decisions on our own, and understand what we believe in, and understand what's true and right and dignified. But it's easy to be persuaded, I guess I should say, instead of saying somebody can make us feel a certain way. But the other day I was watching that radio station, or I was listening to the radio on the way to my, regular 9 to 5, and they did the Roses with Ryan or something. I won't get into it any more than that. You can look it up. I don't want to get copyrighted claimed or anything like that by mentioning somebody famous and then I get dinged. But they had a show where this gal is married to a guy, and the guy's out of town on business, but he's there with a bunch of work people. And one of the work people is a female, and she calls her husband to check in, see how things are going. And it's like 10 or 11 at night. And one of the coworkers, who's female, is in his room having drinks, working. Okay. So they do the whole flower thing. They call and say, oh, we have free dozen roses. Eventually this is going to catch on, because I've heard this like 20 times. So eventually people are going to get smart to like make sure you say the right person's name. I know it's terrible to say, but anyways, the show, literally, they call this guy, the husband, and they say, hey, we have a free dozen roses. We just opened up down the street, and you're on our list of a dozen roses. There's no credit card, no nothing required. Who would you like to send the roses to? And he said the other woman's name, the woman who had been in the hotel room. And then the radio host gets on, and he said, guy, that's not appropriate. That's completely inappropriate. Why would you do that? But when they were asking him when he wanted to send the roses to this person, a coworker, they said, what do you want it to say? And he said, well, thanks for all the help. And they said, is this romantic, not romantic? And he said, oh no, it's not romantic at all. And then the radio host comes on and says, hey, by the way, this is, super inappropriate, regardless if it's romantic or not. The whole blubbering about this, and hopefully I don't get everybody in the comments saying, skip this part or whatever. But what I realized in listening to this, and I've known for a long time, and I've realized it before, but it hit me like a ton of bricks. The wife is on the phone too, and she's like, I'm flabbergasted that this da-da-da-da. But the husband kept saying, but it's platonic, it's nothing. And the radio host kept saying, but that's not appropriate, you're married. And it was almost as if I could picture the wife saying, okay, honey, I believe you, even though we know that's inappropriate. So my whole point, Taurus, is you've had this aha moment of this is not appropriate, or this is not acceptable. And that's where you're feeling this kind of Knight of Swords. It's almost as if you've realized that, like, you seek something clear. There'll be a card in here somewhere about clarity. I can tell already just from the way that came across. So sorry about that whole story, but I found it extremely interesting that I knew immediately that wife was going to come back and say, well, I'll let it go this time, or, I'd appreciate it if it didn't. And I just thought, why, like, when did we lose the self-respect for, no, I'm in a marriage and you don't have another woman in your hotel room, even if it's platonic, period. So the next card you have is the Sun card. Okay. And the Sun card talks, I just said clarity, and I knew it. I told you. I knew there would be a card in here on clarity. The Sun card talks about solutions and seeing what you need to see right in front of your face. So Taurus, immediately this tells me that some of you are in a situation where you finally broke free, where you finally went, what am I doing? I'm seeing something in a whole new light. I'm seeing something for what it actually is. The Sun card can also represent Leo oftentimes, but again, there's the clarity card, and damned if it didn't come out right after I said that, because literally in thinking about it, that is the moment. You're having this moment, this powerful understanding of Taurus is not going to take any more shit. The next card you have is the Five of Wands card. So this is your distant past. Could be over the past 5-10 years. Could be throughout childhood. But the Five of Wands talks about a rivalry. It's about competition, priorities. It's so weird that I mentioned that story on the radio, because for some of you that it feels like this is a very similar situation. Now, it may not be marriage. It may not be the same scenario. But this is somebody who is like, Taurus, I love you, but they're not committing. Or Taurus, I love you, but they're still talking to other people. Or hey, I want to commit, but they're like still online dating. There's something here, Taurus, that all of a sudden, again, you had this moment of, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I putting up with this when I could be moving on? Or why am I putting up with this when, I deserve to be treated better? Or if I'm not the first choice, then I don't want to be a choice. I'm not anybody's second, third, or fourth choice. I'm your first choice, or I'm not your choice, and move on. Again, cross watchers, this can be reversed, so don't get upset in the comments. It can be reversed, but this is Taurus's read. The next card you have is the Page of Cups. Over the past few months, and this is interesting. The Page of Cups is wanting to see everything lovingly. And I think this is where you had the aha moment, because this is inventiveness. So in your mind, for some of you, you have invented this, well, it's okay. He or she said, da, 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 da. Or that's, it only happened once, or they only, there was only a situation that, they didn't mean it, or it wasn't anything serious, or, they truly love me. There's like almost a convincing that the roses are red, violets are blue, when there's something missing here, Taurus, and you know it. So what is it going forward that you're going to do to hold yourself in a higher, have the higher expectation, or have the higher self-respect? And again, I can't help seeing it almost like a bomb exploding, that you started to realize, what in the world am I doing? What is going on here? All signs point to, they totally screwed up, or their integrity was not where it should be. So what does Taurus want to do? The next card you have is your distant future. So over the next few months, and you have the Nine of Swords. Okay, the Nine of Swords is anxiety. It can be depression. It can be a physical, emotional, spiritual, kind of just out of sync. Now, I don't think this is going to last, and I almost feel as if this is somebody else's energy as well, as if this is somebody else's energy feeding into yours, as if you've cut this person off, or you've decided, until you have something to say to me, until you have an answer for me, you're going to clear the air, or you have something to bring to the table, don't talk to me. It may be that you're feeling anxious about that, but it also feels very much like this other person is feeling almost alienated, because they didn't expect you to actually, it's not that they didn't expect you to, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. They didn't expect you to actually stand up for yourself, or they thought that this would be like, they could pull this one over, or pull a fast one, and it didn't work. Or maybe they've been doing it for a while, and you finally were like, no, and then you held your ground, and now they're like, oh shoot, Taurus is holding the ground, what am I going to do? Well, you messed with the bullhead, because Taurus isn't going to step down once you set your mind to something. Now, the next card you have is your immediate future over the next few weeks throughout the end of July, and you have the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is bravery, but this is also defense, strategy, priorities. This is you almost, I don't want to say giving an ultimatum, but along the lines of giving an ultimatum, along the lines of saying, I know my self-worth, I know what I deserve, and I will not go through this again. You are putting your foot down about something, Taurus, and you are not budging. And they are not liking it, because it's like they're trying to break down your wall and say, but wait, Taurus, like, there's an excuse or a reason, and you've heard it all. And maybe not from this person. This could be stemming from, you've heard it all from other people, several relationships, and you finally just said, what am I doing? No, I promised myself I wouldn't go through this again. Or I said that I wouldn't tolerate this type of behavior again. And here we are, circle round and round and round, and I'm just not doing it again. The next card you have is anything tangible throughout the month that's coming in for the end of July. And you have the High Priestess. Now, the High Priestess is inner wisdom, but this is about your, the High Priestess is about your instinct, your judgment, your gut feeling, whatever you want to call it, your third eye, whatever it is that you know when this person's coming towards you right now. And for some of you, they are banging on the door. They are trying to contact you on social media. They are trying to get your attention. For others of you, they're being completely silent, which they normally do, and then they're going to pop back up, and you're going to be like, nope. And so they may not have any idea. It may come as a big surprise. But the High Priestess is saying, you don't have all the answers right now, Taurus, but you will shortly. You will know if this person is being tried and true. You will know if this person's playing a game. Your gut, your instinct will tell you, and you need to listen and trust that gut and instinct when it tells you what's going on. Because again, you may be questioning, you may be wondering if you've done the right thing, but all shall be revealed in time. The next card you have is how you're feeling throughout the end of the month, and you have the Ten of Wands, a hardship, a burden, a responsibility, some sort of burden, but it's a first completion. So this goes along with what I was talking about. You have decided to release, that monkey on your back, or to release that elephant in the room, or whatever it is, because the Ten of Wands is talking about some sort of burden you've carried for a long, long time, okay? A long, long time. And then now you're kind of saying, no, you know what? I don't have time nor the energy to carry this, so I'm just not going to. And so the Ten of Wands, like I said, is releasing that burden. It's a first completion. And then you have the Seven of Wands. So here's the other person coming into the month. Seven of Wands, Seven of Wands. You're both on the defense. However, Taurus, I'm not going to lie. And again, cross watchers, it can be reversed. Taurus, I really feel like you have the reason, but you're dealing with somebody who's possibly stubborn. The Seven of Wands, again, is that defense, priorities, changes, deciding that you're not going to put up with any crap. And this person, for whatever reason, is kind of like, this person's making me a little irritated for you, Taurus. Not a little irritated, really irritated, because you're trying to release the burden. You're like, you know what? No, we've been here, we've done that. Not doing this over and over and over. Not going on this, crazy train with you over and over and over. Not going to happen. But they're sitting here trying to defend their position. Like, well, it wasn't that bad. It's like I said before, this person's irritating me because there's an excuse, or but it's not that big of a deal, and you're making it more out of it, and that starts to get into that narcissistic type energy of, well, you're just being crazy, or you're just making a big deal out of nothing, or you're just causing problems, or and you just need to be quiet, whoever this is, who's talking in my ear. Because I can literally hear this person over here going, oh, Taurus, don't be silly. Why are you making such a big deal? You always got to make such a big deal about something. Don't. For the first time, Taurus caught on to your BS. Or maybe Taurus has known about it for a long time, and they have decided to take action, and now they're mad, Taurus, because you're finally standing up for yourself. Now, they're coming in feeling as though the Eight of Swords, feeling stuck, okay? Self-imprisoned, because they put themselves in a situation and they don't know how to get out of it, and Taurus is not taking nanny from them. So, Taurus, I know it's hard, but really it is about standing your ground, because again, this person, I don't like the tendency of narcissism that we're heading towards with this person, because it really is. I can just hear them saying, but you're making such a big deal, Taurus. I mean, it was nothing. Like, I'm not, just stop. I can't even listen to it. Okay, the next card you have is clarifying how you're feeling throughout the rest of the month. And you have the Emperor. The Emperor is Aries card, so you could be dealing with an Aries. But the biggest thing here is you want tradition. You want stability. You want strength. You want trust. You want all of the above. You want the whole package. You deserve the whole package. You want the whole kit and caboodle, and you're not going to stop until you get it. So you need to hold tight to that bravery. You need to hold tight to that strength. Then you have the Magician here covering the High Priestess, and these are perfect because you have the Magician, which is number 1, going to the High Priestess, which is number 2. And this is saying, Taurus, you can manifest what you want. If you want this person back, there is a possibility that you guys can come back together. The question is, if you want them back, what type of scenario do you want them back in? The Magician is saying now that you can, this is versatility in connecting with somebody, but this is you now saying, look, if you're going to bring bullshit to the table, then I'm setting the table for somebody else. Point blank, end of. Taurus, you guys really have something going on here this month that is like, they got their hand caught in the cookie jar, and you're not playing anymore. You broke the cookie jar, you threw the cookies away, you'll make cookies for somebody else. The next card you have, exactly what I'm talking about. The next card you have is You Are the One, and authenticity. This is all about self-love, self-respect. This is your hopes and fears for the outcome of the month. And your hope for the outcome of the month is that you will be able to stick with your decision to have the self-respect, self-love, self-encouragement, all of the above, to stick with this, because right now it's hard. This is somebody that you love and care about, somebody that you have dealt with. Some of you have cut this person off before, but then you get the, oh, but I love you, and Taurus, and it's just you're tired. You're tired of being tired. Does that make sense? You're exhausted, and it's exhausting being this exhausting. Exhausted. It's the tired of being tired all the time scenario, and you're just not going to do it anymore. I love this card for you. This card comes up very seldom. For whatever reason, it seems to come up when people need to hear it the most. So stick to your guns on this, Taurus, because you deserve a lot better than what you have gotten in the past. And then you close out with the Hermit card as your outcome card. And the Hermit card is Virgo's card, so you could be dealing with a Virgo. But the Hermit card is about going inside, okay? It's introspection, but it's going into your man or woman cave, spiritually align yourself and spiritually looking at things and spiritually understanding, who or what you want, what you deserve. The Hermit card is perfect because this is saying, look, I will come and have a conversation with you when I feel like having a conversation with you. Or I will come and, be in your graces when I feel like it. The hermit mode is, I'm taking care of me, and that's what's most important. Whatever you think, whatever you've got going on, that doesn't mean anything to me right now, because I need to reflect. I need to figure out exactly what it is I want. I need to figure out where I'm going with this, because whatever this was hit you like a ton of bricks, Taurus, and it made you sad and disappointed all at once. But you have the High Priestess again twice. As I was talking about, the High Priestess is, you may not have all the answers, but the answers are coming, or an answer is coming for you. Taurus, it's all about self-protection, spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally. Take care of yourself. Worry about yourself. You are the one. Authenticity. You know the truth. You know the truth with this person. Man, they're banging at the door, or they're going to be banging at the door, because they didn't think that you would actually cut this off. They didn't think that you actually had, I don't want to say the balls, but I'm going to say it. They didn't think that you had the balls to actually be like, I'm done with your bullshit and I'm not looking back right now. They thought this would be like a blip in the radar, and guess what? They were wrong, because it's not, because it's, again, as if you see clearly for the first time that this has been a continuous pattern, and you're not going to stand for it anymore. Period. You're just not. You have acceleration as your clarifying card for the end, which is full speed ahead. Throw caution to the wind. Do what you need to do. Avoid judgment of your allies. Procrastinate if you need to procrastinate. This talks about encountering some obstacles, but you'll be able to deal with them swiftly and timely when the time comes. So Taurus, this person wants you back badly, but you have called out their BS, and I just don't know that you're ready. And for the first time ever, it's like you're holding your feet firmly to the ground. Your feet are planted, and I just don't see you forgiving and forgetting so easily as you may have in the past. All right, Taurus, I'll see you soon. Bye.